You also see, and I love this in the documentary, you see the joy behind this guy. I mean, this guy, it was like a big beam of light. There's no other way of putting it, and it materialized through his comedy. What was the reaction that people, when they would meet Chris, what was the reaction that people would get from meeting him both on and off stage?
Yeah, they would. You know, like Dan Aykroyd said, he was a ray of light when he came in. He'd make a big entrance. Either he'd scream or he'd roll on the ground, or he just liked to embarrass people. He liked all that, and so he always wanted to make a big entrance and be the loudest in the room, so you weren't going to ignore him. And I think when people met him, he was a little shocked that they were all in awe of him, everything like that, because he didn't really see himself as a really big movie star or anything like that. I mean, he'd joke about it. He'd be like, yeah, I'm a big movie star.
There was such a humility to him, and you see
yeah.
it. I mean, I remember in the documentary when you guys would talk about, and other people talk about, when he would meet a Paul McCartney, and he would be like a little kid, and you sit there and you connect. When you have a chance to meet icons, no matter how much you're around these people who have changed the world, it's still hard not to get starstruck. He was still getting starstruck. Meanwhile, they were getting starstruck by him.
Yeah. He was probably the more famous one, and that is the Chris Farley show. It's a sketch in SNL that everyone remembers, and that was him. The writers said, and Bob Odenkirk said to us in our film, and Fred Wolf, is like, that was Chris Farley. You would walk to SNL, and he'd walk up to the guest hosts, and he'd be nervous and say, are you Christian Slater? Are you Paul McCartney? And they would kind of just watch him, and that's how they wrote the sketch, the Chris Farley show.
Yeah.
So what prompted you guys to make this thing? When did you say, all right, it's time to tell Chris's story?
Well, I think, Brent and I, when we were talking about, films that we wanted to do, we were looking at the world of comedy. And when you look at the world of comedy, pretty quickly you start looking at Chris Farley. And the fact that there hadn't been a film that was of any meaningful, disposition over that 18 years, which is incredible when you think about it, we were like, this has to be made. And then it was really a sense of getting in touch with Kevin and building that trust, and because the family wasn't out there looking to make a film. It was us approaching them, and then Kevin feeling that this was the right team behind it, and that we had the right sensitivity, and that we're all on the same page. And as I like to say, the next step of that was that we got invited to go to Madison, and then all hell broke loose.